it's an incredible pleasure to see all of you. I am Christopher Boyer. I'm the past president of the Chamber and co-owner of the Academy of Modern Martial Arts. We welcome you as we return to an in-person celebration of what makes Lake Oswego a fantastic place to live, work, and play. You can tell by the persistent buzz of conversation in this room that we're all quite happy to see one another and to connect again. The truth is, we as individuals and we as a community function best through our connection with one another. And so, I thank you all for being here tonight. Appropriately enough, fostering connections is exactly what the Chamber is about. Our Chamber of Commerce started here in Lake Oswego in 1941. Anybody besides me around then? That means we've been around for more than 80 years.
Wow.
And I have tremendous skincare products to thank for that. We bring together our business, our city government, our school district, and the general community to co-create and celebrate this very special place that we call home. Since 1986, through leadership Lake Oswego, the Chamber has been committed to bringing awareness and expertise to those who are interested in being a leader in Lake Oswego. And that's kind of the subject of tonight's get-together. To be clear, leadership isn't just about elected office. Every single one of us in this room leads the people around us in myriad ways. We show leadership in our businesses, in our schools, in our homes, and in our neighborhoods. I think it's very important to note that the people being honored here this evening do not and have not sought out recognition. They are leaders, each in their own way, setting the examples that contribute towards our successful community. Whether you are a high-profile leader or a behind-the-scenes leader, we need and appreciate all of you in this room. While you are all our special guests, we do have a few guests this evening who have chosen the high visibility of elective office. Please stand as I read your names. County Commissioner Martha Schrader. Are you here in the room, Martha? Right over there in the wine line. Props for priorities. All right, Paul Savas. I know I was just standing right next to you. There you are, Paul. Thank you. Sonia Fisher. There we go, Sonia. All right. Neelam Gupta, our school board. Thank you so much. Liz Hartman. Where are you, Liz? Right there. Okay. So she has dual roles. She's kind of the head of this whole chamber thing we're here for. Very nicely done. City council members, John Wendland. Where you at, John? All right, very good. I know Daniel Wynn was here earlier. Is he still here? I know he had another event to scoot out to. Well, a big round of applause for Daniel Wynn. Misen Mabuk, where are you? Right there. Thank you so much. And Rachel Burdick. Where are we, Rachel? Thank you. A big thank you to all of you for your service. We're fortunate to have an incredible title sponsor that has stuck with the Chamber throughout this pandemic. Columbia Bank is a local treasure and a true community partner, which served as a great resource for businesses throughout the pandemic. Matt Chrisman is not only our local Columbia banker, he's also the treasurer of the Chamber. So please help me welcome Matt Chrisman to the podium. Now Matt asked me to keep one hand on his back through this, and now that I've thrown him a loop and we can't set the microphone down, you got this? I got it. All right.
I think I can do it. What do you guys think? So very nice to see everybody. It's been a couple of years. We're all back together. The city's coming alive again, so it's wonderful, I think. So as Christopher said, my name is Matt Chrisman, and I manage the Lake Oswego office of Columbia Bank. And we sponsored this event for a good while. It goes all the way back to Charlie. Charlie used to get up here and do this speech, I think. So I think it shows that we're obviously committed to the community, and we're here to build lasting relationships in the community, but enough about me and the bank. We're here to honor leaders of Lake Oswego, and I want to be the first to congratulate all of our winners. Thank you for making Lake Oswego a wonderful place to live and work, and for creating leaders, because by employing people, you're creating leaders as well too, and getting them started. So thank you for that. So a little bit about Columbia. We're headquartered in Tacoma, Washington. We have locations in Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and California. And as most of you know, we've got a big deal coming up here pretty soon where we're merging with Umpqua Bank. So we're excited about that. We're really excited about it. It's going to give us obviously more resources. We're going to continue to be able to do what we do, which is good. And of course, back to Columbia, we offer all the products and services that all the other banks offer. So if there's anything I can do in the financial area, please let me know. But one of the reasons I'm really proud of working for Columbia Bank is our community, our commitment to the community. Not only do we sponsor events, but we get out in the community and we volunteer. A couple weekends ago, I was at the Portland Rescue Mission with 5 of my colleagues serving breakfast. And every holiday season, we do what is called Warm Hearts, where we raise money for our community. We raised over $300,000 in 2021, and that all went back into the communities that we serve all over our footprint. So including so we can get the show moving on. I want to thank Jay Haladay for building this beautiful building. Thank you, Jay. Look at this view. And then, where's Liz? I wanted to give a shout out to Liz, because we are so lucky to have Liz Hartman as our Chamber's executive. She does such a wonderful job. And I just want to say, if you're not a member of the Chamber, it's a great organization. We're doing great. It's only going to get better. And so become a member. And with that being said, let's have a wonderful evening, and I'll turn it back over to you, Christopher.
A big thank you to Matt and our signature sponsor, Columbia Bank. So, are all of you familiar with Kumon Math and Reading in Lake Grove? Big round of applause, please. There are a few things as important as preparing young minds for success. Debbie Siegel owns Kumon Math and Reading. As a small business owner, she knows all about what it takes to succeed. Located right on Boone's Ferry in Lake Grove, Debbie managed to not only navigate the challenges of the pandemic, but she also continued to operate through this little thing called the construction of Boone's Ferry Road. Anybody familiar with that? Yeah, well, she navigated it. So not only does she prepare our local youth for greater academic success, Debbie is this year's Chamber President. Please join me in welcoming Debbie Siegel to the podium.
Good evening, welcome. I have the honor of serving a board of directors of some of the finest personalities and capabilities that Lake Oswego has to offer. And I would like all the board members to please stand. All the board folks that are here. I appreciate all the time that you do serve every month with not only serving on the board, but all the committees and all your personal time. And I mean that. I really appreciate it, everybody. The Chamber has taken on a lot of new roles this year with the help of the county funding to help us reach out to other businesses throughout our Business Recovery Center. And that means that you didn't necessarily have to be a member of the Chamber to receive help from us this year. And we've also returned to in-person Friday networking, and we're looking forward this year to actually bringing back the Wine Walk. And that's happening on Saturday, October 1st this year. And the Chamber did not miss a beat through COVID. And our community is now supporting all the flower baskets that you are seeing throughout town. And those are going up right now. There are over 2,000 licensed businesses in Lake Oswego, and nearly a quarter are members of the Chamber. our numbers are growing. COVID has changed how we serve our business community. And while many of them have done well, some are still needing some help. The Lake Oswego Chamber of Commerce has partnered with the Westland Chamber since October of 2020 to help all local businesses with grant funds and resources to meet the unexpected challenges the pandemic brought to the business community. We've put some special attention to our minority, women-owned, and veteran-owned businesses. And we've reached out not only to chamber members, but to non-chamber members who are seeking help, and we appreciate that. We've been able to meet with them in person and to find out what their needs are and to get out there and deliver what they need. And we're continuing to use our strategic planning process to further meet their needs. And one of those things that we're working on is actually going after some ARPA grants, which I would like to thank Liz for helping us do. The Chamber also would like to recognize the quick response of the city, which at the beginning of the pandemic helped small businesses with funding to get through some of this uncertainty. And the Chamber would also like to thank the fire department for organizing vaccination opportunities for our employees. And I'm fortunate to serve and work with so many people in this room who communicate and coordinate for Lake Oswego. Some of you knew Dee Denton, a former chamber executive for whom Dee Denton Business of the Year Award was named. Dee knew every chamber member by name and knew how to plug them into businesses throughout the community and how to connect folks and make connections amongst different parts of the city. This year's business recipient received multiple nominations. And with Dominique, Geulin, please come forward to the podium. Dominique opened his first St. Honoré bakery in Northwest Portland in 2003. His third location arrived in Lake Oswego in 2007. Today there are 4 locations. Dominique is a master baker and has produced quality breads and pastries throughout the years, employing and training hundreds of people to be excellent French bakers. He donates his products locally and serves as the honorary consul of France, Oregon, where he promotes French businesses interested in opening in Oregon. He was awarded the Meilleur Ouvrier de France, the best baker in France status by the late President Mitterrand. He's also designated a Knight in the Order of Agricultural Merit from the French government for outstanding contributions to agriculture. St. Honoré may have been the fastest pivoting restaurant in Lake Oswego during the pandemic. They were one of the few restaurants that stayed open throughout the entire time, except for a short spell when there was no electricity due to the ice storm. So, on behalf of the Lake Oswego Chamber of Commerce, I'm pleased to present the 2002 Dee Denton Business of the Year Award to Dominique.
Thank you. 15 years ago, when we opened our doors here in Lake Oswego, it was with the intention of being part of this community. Being here tonight feels like we've accomplished that mission. Thank you. Thank you, the Chamber, for recognizing us. Thank you, Lake Oswego, for supporting us. I also have a special thank you for Jenny Davis. If Jenny, you want to stand up? She's the one that makes it happen here in Lake Oswego every single day at the bakery. And during the pandemic, to make sure that we could stay open to be part of the community. So thank you for your support. Thank you, the Chamber.
Thank you so much, Debbie. You can take that with you. And thank you, Dominique. And thank you to St. Honoré. Do you guys still make those cannelés? Oh my goodness. If you have not had a cannelé, you need to get a cannelé. Don't even ask me to describe it. It is the closest thing to heaven on earth in the form of a baked good. So congratulations again. Pamplin Media and the Lake Oswego Review, one of our co-sponsors this evening, they are the best source of our community news, being that Lake Oswego Review. And I'm going to ask our Pamplin Media representatives to please stand for a moment. Brian Monahan, Patrick Malley, where are you in this room? I just want everybody to see you. There's Patrick, there's Brian. Now, the Lake Oswego Review does so much to connect us to our community, and so I just want to take this moment to connect you all to the people in our Pamplin and Lake Oswego Review. So those are the people to go say hi to after this, and make sure you know who they are. They do a great job. Thank you, guys. We are incredibly fortunate here at the Lake Oswego Chamber to have a city council that includes 5 chamber members. John Wendland, owner of Portland Bindery, has been a member since 2006. In 2019, he agreed to chair this awards event for 2020. I'm not sure if you guys recall what happened. It was canceled for some reason. I'm just scratching my head here. Yet, I want you to know John stayed on with his committee, and he stayed on that committee, and he chaired the 2021 event, which was virtual. We're pleased to have City Council President John Wendland join us to present the Beautification Awards for 2019, 2020, and 2021. So, please join me in welcoming John Wendland to the podium.
So 2 things you don't want to do. You don't want to have lots of awards and a politician doing the presentation. So I hope you all have enough food tonight to last for the next hour or 2. Just kidding. We do have 6 awards that we're going to present tonight, and I'm going to ask the recipients, when I tell which award is going out to who, to come on up, and I'm going to just say a couple comments about you, and then you get to plug your project a little bit and thank the Chamber for recognizing you. So the Headlee Beautification Awards are named after Bill and Elizabeth Buzz Headlee, which many of you have known, some of you for many, many years. They're institutions around Lake Oswego. One of the things about them is that they really care deeply about the aesthetics and the beautiful parts of Lake Oswego. So they established this award. Some of you may know, like the Headlee Walkway, which is over by Lakewood Bay. They're all over the place in Lake Oswego, and they really were significant contributors. And everyone tonight has been a significant contributor to Lake Oswego. We're recognizing several significant additions to the Lake Oswego landscape tonight and acknowledging the forward-looking people who worked diligently to complete the projects that have contributed towards the beautification and really the betterment of our community. So, I want to recognize each of them, and on the first 5, the projects, just to let you get this in a significant number in your head, they've invested, some of it taxpayer money, a lot of it private money, collectively represent almost $300 million in investment in Lake Oswego. That's a lot of money for a community our size, so we are super excited to recognize them. But I think above that, they're all outstanding projects. They will contribute to this community for a long, long time. And one in particular, the City Hall, I hope will last a lot longer than the previous one. So the first one, could I have the Haladay family or members of the Haladay come on up? We're presenting our awards in this fabulous venue. And the first, come on up. You guys, come on. You guys all, you live in this building, you might as well come up. The first recipient is the Beacon Building. And some of you don't know that it's the Beacon Building until you see the sign, because you all know that this is the Iron Light event space, which we're in tonight, which is just a fabulous space. But they also have floors of offices and retail space below us. And they did open, we were supposed to have the event about the day that the governor shut us down as a state. So that was 2020. So fast forward to now, I think when I talked to Carrie earlier, I think they're booked up for the summer, right? So corporate meetings are still available. Well, Jay and his family, they invested in Lake Oswego, and they had a vision. They invested, opened this building, which has been a wonderful hub of business and event activity in First Edition and the downtown core. And we just want to thank the Haladay family for investing in Lake Oswego. So here is the first Beautification Award to the Haladay family.
So welcome to our house. We feel it is that way. We didn't take any government money. This was our money. But Taryn and Carrie and Son, our other daughter-in-law, run Iron Light here, the event center. And it's, I think it's a spectacular asset, not only for the family, but for the community. But sometimes unrecognized is Miles, who is up here with us. Because Miles was the point person for the family who helped lead the development effort with the contractor and the city and all the other participants in this. And so I'd like to give you have you give Miles a round of applause, because he was really the point person. So thank you.
The next award goes to the Springs at Lake Oswego. So can I have the representatives, Wendy and Laura, come on up.
Wendy's feeling ill today.
Oh, she's feeling, okay. Well, many of you have seen the changes that occurred on Cruise Way when the Springs at Lake Oswego opened. It was a street corner and it was an open lot. It had some trees on it, small trees. They weren't big, huge oak trees and big, huge fir trees. So they could be removed. But they took a piece of land and transformed it, and all the residents of Lake Oswego were welcomed to a beautiful new retirement facility that truly sets the bar for senior living. And it was very needed in Lake Oswego, and it's been a huge success from day one. And they got through COVID, and they're still going. I hear they're still wearing masks there to keep everybody safe. But so you're Wendy, right? No, you're Laura. Laura. Okay, so Laura's here to accept the award on behalf of the Springs.
Thank you, everyone. We are so grateful to have a very successful, beautiful, independent living, assisted living, and memory care. We are so happy to be serving the Lake Oswego seniors.
So for those of you who have been down in that area, there's a little building next to it, across the street, on the corner of Cruise Way and Boone's Ferry, when some wonderful developers constructed the Mercato Grove. So could that group come on up? I think it's Ivone, Julia, and Bennett. So if you haven't been down at the Mercato Grove, go see it. It's home to a mixed-use development with 6 fabulous chef's table restaurants. It has a pharmacy. It has all kinds of retail space. It has donuts that are just unbelievably delicious. And of course, it has some beautiful housing, which we need in Lake Oswego. They have beautiful apartments that they put above and around along Cruise Way. And it's really changed the entire Cruise Way and the Boone's Ferry intersection to really a vibrant go-to location. And if you try to get parking there on a Friday night, and I suggest, there's plenty of it, but if you walk, that's even better. So Ivan, Julia, and Damin are here to accept the award. Congratulations for the Headlee Beautification Award for you.
I just want to say that these projects are very big and very complicated and take a lot of people and a huge amount of teamwork. So Ivone, who runs the property, and Julia, who helps run the property, are just part of a team. There was architects and engineers and contractors. And frankly, the city doesn't get a reputation for being easy to work with, in all candor, but we found them very great to work with. So I think it was really a great team of people. And I just want to thank everyone for being part of a successful project, and I just want to also say that our company is vested in the community. I live here, my mom lives 4 blocks up. Half our office lives here, so we are personally vested in the success of this and aren't going anywhere. So thank you for the support.
So now we're going to switch gears just a little bit. Years ago, there was a Lakeridge junior high that was evaluated, and I was on the school board at the time, as one of the worst facilities in the school district. Unfortunately, it was on shaky ground and it wasn't built very well back in the 60s. But today, thanks to a bond that was supported by our citizens, Lakeridge Middle School is one of the most modern schools in the state that not only came in on time, but on budget. And thanks in large part to somebody who I will consider a friend and a colleague, Anthony Vandenburgh, who's the Executive Director of Project Management. I would love to give him the award, along with Jennifer Schiele, our Superintendent. Dr. Schiele, come on up. If you have not been in the building, I suggest you go and see it because it is state-of-the-art, and if you were in any of our junior highs before, it's night and day, and it's really giving the opportunity for our kids to succeed at their very best. So, Tony, thanks so much for everything you do for our kids, and thanks for Lakeridge Middle School. Thanks, Dr. Schiele.
Thank you, everyone. I didn't know I had to speak, so I had to prepare. What a pleasure. I love building schools. I've been doing it for many, many years, and this is why I do it, to see the results, to see the kids come out the first day of school, and to have the opportunity here in Lake Oswego, the support of our community. We're going to do a few more. We got them coming up. River Grove's next, followed by LOJ.
Woohoo!
Need to speak, I guess. So I will say thank you again. And not only is Tony right, we're going to continue building in our school district, but I want to thank our community because it is you who passes our bonds that gives us the money in order to do so. And having top-notch schools for our students is very important for their success. So we really appreciate the support and look forward to these two. We're going to be back up here because we're going to have 2 more buildings in the next couple of years. So thanks, Chamber.
And I know both Liz and Neelam were shouted out before, but they were a big part of making this bond work and everything that happened. There are a lot of meetings when you build a school that you have to attend, and they're in for the stock options, but as volunteers. So thank you. So on to another big project that turned out really well. In a similar situation to Lakeridge, the city unfortunately had to replace our aging, outdated building that was kind of falling apart with a new city hall and emergency center. So the next Headlee Beautification Award is presented to the city of Lake Oswego and its citizens for a new city hall that is the centerpiece for the community that also came in on budget and on time and was not through any bond money, but through money that we put aside and managed well. So it was a very good project that turned out really better than we could have even dreamed. And if you haven't been in that building, go check that out. The building, while it is a city hall, it really is a reflection of the values of the public accessibility to government that we have in Lake Oswego, the strong stance we have for public safety, and really the customer-oriented city services that this building showcases. And we also have 2 wonderful places that we put in, the Boutique, which is run by the Friends of the Library, and the art through the Arts Council for their gallery that they have. It's 2 wonderful partnerships that we have that really add to the City Hall. So accepting the award tonight, I want to bring my colleagues up, Rachel Burdick, Masen Maboop, and I want to bring up both our city manager and assistant city manager, Martha and Megan. Come on up. councilors really didn't have to do a lot with the building. Really, Martha and Megan were doing a lot of the nuts and bolts, so congratulations. We really appreciate everything you did.
I knew you were going to hand me the microphone. It's terrible to be handed a microphone when your bosses are standing next to you. So I want you all to just feel with me for a second. We're really proud of this building because it really is the people's building. The city delivers services to the community. We are the place where we deliver the things that make it possible for us to live this close together. And so we're really proud of the way that the building invites you in, that allows us to have meetings that are open and transparent, to deliver excellent customer service to all of you as members of the community. We're also really excited that it's seismically safe, so that when you need us, when the Cascadia earthquake comes, we'll still be here for you. So thank you very much for this.
And finally, while we recognized all the new projects, we also want to recognize an institution like Oswego. One of the earliest nominations for the Headlee Award came from the local garden club that has been assisting at the Pioneer Heritage Cemetery on Stafford Road. Sue Headlee and the board were not able to join us this evening, but this team never fails to keep the grounds at the cemetery clean, clear, and fresh for those visiting and for those resting in place. While we honor our citizens today, the Pioneer Cemetery is the home for many citizens who have built the city. If you go back and look at historical records, many of them were some of the founding people of Lake Oswego and were movers and shakers like many of the people sitting here today. So when you have a chance, after you go through all the buildings, you can reflect back and take a look at Pioneer Cemetery. And we just want to thank the board of directors for all the work that they do. And we will present them, post-show with their award. I guess is probably the best way to do it. So that's it. Thanks and congratulations to all the recipients of the Headlee Beautification Awards for their investments in our community and their outstanding work at making Lake Oswego a wonderful and beautiful place to live, work, and play.
Don't do that, it's going to get real loud in here. Goodness. Nicely done. Thank you, John, and congratulations to all of our winners. I'd just like to say another one of our co-sponsors this evening is the Beacon building itself, this very fine iron light space in which you are standing. And I'd like you to join me in welcoming Jay Haladay to step up to the microphone and tell you a little something about the Beacon building.
I didn't realize I was going to get a second bite of the apple. But rather than talking about the Beacon building, I'd rather talk about the Chamber of Commerce, because I'm the Vice President of Strategic Planning for the Chamber, and along with several members that are the board members that are here and our executives, this is a very different chamber than it was a few years ago. Very much like this building exemplifies a change in Lake Oswego. We are excited. Our family's lived here for 30 years. 3 of our 4 children are here. 7 of our 9 grandchildren are here. We think this is an important community for us to put down roots and to really see those roots grow. So we're glad you're all here. We're glad to be part of the community. And thank you very much for the recognition. Christopher, thank you.
Our community loves the arts. Can we just get a round of applause for the arts? Art moves people, it allows you to see things in a new way, and once you see things differently, you just can't go back to seeing it the old way anymore. So we love our sculptures here, we love our theater, and we appreciate our history. We're next going to be joined by the 3 directors and possibly their board members. I'm not sure. That's in the script. I don't know if the board members are actually coming up or not. But these are the people that are instrumental in coordinating our volunteers throughout the community. Each will be presenting an award to someone who has made a difference in their respective community. Please help me by first welcoming Nicole Nathan, Executive Director of the Arts Council, to the microphone.
Thanks so much, Christopher. Over Over the years, the Arts Council of Lake Oswego has made enormous strides thanks to visionary and civic leaders, dedicated community partners, and enlightened business owners who value the arts as a key attribute to livability and economic prosperity. We are so fortunate to have many wonderful partners in our community who provide support for the Gallery Without Walls public art program, art space, and our events and programs. Thank you. The Fortuna Award, which I'm presenting this evening, goes to an individual or group who supports the arts in our community and is named for the Fortuna sculpture, which anchors the southern end of First Street at the roundabout at Millennium Plaza Park. Fortuna is part of a suite of 10 sculptures throughout Millennium Plaza Park by artist Simon Toporowski. These sculptures were some of the very first pieces of sculpture in the city of Lake Oswego and provided the foundation for the Arts Council of Lake Oswego, which began in 1999. Tonight, I am happy to bestow the Arts Council's Fortuna Award to arts community advocate and terrific all-around person, Bonnie Cartwright. Bonnie is the quintessential gracious volunteer who wants to serve and forward her community. As a former teacher in the Lake Oswego schools, she is dedicated to education, the well-being of the community, and giving back. If you happen to be at Palisades School, you might spy a mural that she worked on with her students many, many years ago. Without folks like Bonnie, very simply, the Arts Council would not be here. Here are just some of the ways Bonnie serves ACLO. As a former board member, as a former chair and member of the Gallery Without Walls Selection Committee, host for countless First Fridays with food and fellowship, installer of signs for new Gallery Without Walls sculptures, present at every install and deinstall, laundry doer, she irons our tablecloths, and instigator slash founder slash curator slash mastermind behind Art Mart. If you don't know, since it began 8 years ago, this January show brings the community together over art which has been loved and appreciated, but is looking for a new home. Beginning as a fun idea to provide a means to donate much-loved artwork, provide people with an in-kind donation on their taxes, and to make a little money for ACLO, it has turned into the anticipated event of January. This year, we accepted over 1,000 pieces of artwork from the community, which found new lives in new homes and are being enjoyed by all of you. This, quote, small fundraiser has brought in more revenue year over year, becoming a significant boost to our bottom line. Bonnie is the heart and soul of Art Mart. She looks at every piece coming in, organizes and hangs each piece, prices the work, makes the sales, rehangs new work, keeps Bill Tierney in line, and is there every day. She works more during Art Mart than many of you do all year. Because of this and more, it's my honor to present Bonnie Cartwright with the 2022 Fortuna Award.
Nicole is much too kind. I don't do all of that, really. But I love doing what I do with the Arts Council. It's a privilege for me to be a volunteer, to be involved a little bit in most everything that's going on in there, and a bit pestery too at times, I think. But I think that it's a valuable position being a volunteer, no matter how much you contribute, no matter how little you think you're doing. I do really believe that we're all pretty helpful most of the time. And I thank the Arts Council for letting me be around as much as I am. I love it.
Thank you, Nicole, and congratulations, Bonnie. Because I know Nicole, I kind of had this tiny in. I keep telling her, if you happen to get a Basquiat in that, just let me know. Just give me a phone call, and we'll take that. Next, I would like you to please help me in welcoming Mark Brown, Vice President of the Oswego Heritage House, to the mic. Mark Brown.
I'm the archivist at the Oswego Heritage House. Every morning at 7:30, I walk into the Heritage House, open the door, walk through the parlor, open up the archive room, go inside, open up the shutters that are 94 years old. Sit down, turn the computers on, and I get to work. At 9 o'clock, 3 research assistants come in. They sit down in their spots. They start on their projects. And at 10 o'clock, Erica comes in, the executive director, and she starts to make our organization work. So this all happened because Mr. Campbell, 40, 50 years ago, decided we need a cultural heritage center, and he built that. So the reason you don't see a Jiffy Lube at the top of A Avenue is because Mr. Campbell made that all happen. So.
Thank you, Mark. Mark is absolutely invaluable to the Oswego Heritage Council. But I'm here to give the council's award this year, and the award is going to Scott Hayden. Scott, would you come up here? So I've known Scott for over 40 years.
40? Oh my God. We're not that old.
And in that time, I've always found Scott to jump in and help wherever and whenever needed. Scott has served Lake Oswego in many capacities. He's been Rotary President, he's been the budget chair for the city, he's been Little League President, and numerous other volunteer activities and committees and whatever. But today I am here to honor Scott for his work on behalf of the Oswego Heritage Council. In the 15 plus years that he has served on the Oswego Heritage Council Board of Directors, no job has been too small or too big for Scott. From power washing the house and trimming the bushes to serving as its treasurer and president, Scott has always held the Oswego Heritage Council close to his heart. This year, the year of the COVID hangover, it has been difficult for volunteers. Scott is leading the Car and Boat Show Committee and securing sponsors. We can't thank Scott enough for his generosity and his continuous support to the Oswego Heritage Council. Scott, it is my honor to present you with the C. Herald Campbell Award. Herald would be proud to know that you embody his motto, don't give until it hurts, but give until it feels good.
So you know when you go to Bill Koratch's history class, or I didn't take from you, Bill, but Mike Riley, I think, at Lake Oswego High. And I loved history. I always did. And to get involved with the Heritage House and be on the board for 15 years has been a real honor. I love it, and I encourage all of you to get to know what Lake Oswego history is all about, because it's pretty fascinating. It really is. And what Mark Brown does at archiving all the stories coming back from 1880 and 1901 and 1868, and it's amazing stuff. Nancy Nyland was our director before. Now it's Erica Shar Green in between. And, you know, just we've had a lot of fun there, and we're doing a lot of good things for Oswego. So thank you very much for this award. Most appreciated.
Thank you so much, Mary and Mark, and congratulations, Scott. Are you ready? Please help me in welcoming Andrew Edwards, Executive Director of the Lakewood Center of Performing Arts, to the microphone. The place is no stranger.
Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking. Thank you. And isn't Chris doing a great job as an MC? Accompanying me in this presentation is our board president, Joanne, who won't be saying anything for a few minutes. she's the better part of the equation here. So our presentation tonight is the K Vega Arts Champion Award. K Vega, for those who are new to Lake Oswego or haven't been to the theater, raise your hand and I'll see you outside later. Kay was our first producer for the theater. And her job was to make sure that all the actors got on stage and the theater kept going. And whenever our show, anyone would say, well, how's the show going? It was Kay's job to say, it's great. And you know, that attitude and optimism really shines forth in this particular award, because to make any entity and any operation or any business, you have to be positive about what you're doing. And this award, in honor of Kay, is made to individuals and organizations who inspire and nurture a love of theater and the arts. It recognizes the service a person or organization does to promote and fund or work with the arts. Tonight's recipient is one of those people. She works behind the scenes with innovative ideas and ways to improve what we do here in Lake Oswego. She's been a significant volunteer leader at Lakewood since joining its board 6 years ago. Her accomplishments have guided Lakewood through many fabulous fundraising events as a team player and as a leader. She amazes me, and I'm certain Joanne too, with her tireless energy, organization, positive focus, and the skill set she brings with each project she embraces. Just a few of her accomplishments. She chaired our Dancing with the Stars fundraiser, raising more than $100,000 for multiple charities. When we said, will you dance? She said, no, I'll raise money. She has chaired our Lakewood and City Lights event for the last 4 years, raising collectively more than $500,000 for arts programs in our community. She co-chaired the annual lobster feed and charity auction that Lakewood partners with Lake Oswego Rotary, directing more than 120 volunteers to raise more than $300,000 for multiple charities. Now, this list is very long. Now, whether it's finding donors for a dessert dash, sponsors for tables, or outings to favorite vacation spots in Hawaii or Canada, or perhaps it's a tasting and or an overnight stay at a favorite winery, or maybe it's that last-minute catering for musical guests, or maybe it's her famous cast parties with her husband for 75 to 100 people at her home. Or perhaps it's the sponsorship of a new musical with her friends. This lady knows how to have fun while making sure all the details are covered and the Lakewood Theater successfully reaches its goals. Raising money is hard, but sometimes it's easy when you're having fun doing it. So I want to thank this particular recipient, and our board president would like to say the following.
Thank you, Andrew. I'm so pleased to make this presentation tonight to a person who encourages so many others to be supporters of the arts. In gratitude from Lakewood Board, the volunteers, and the artists, we present this Arts Champion Award to the very remarkable and dear friend, Joanne Kantor. Please come up, Joanne.
I'll hold your reward.
Was not ready for any kind of speech. I'd just like to say thank you to Joanne.
Up here so they can record.
Hello. To Joanne Frankel. She has stayed on this amazing journey for 3 years as president, and without her leadership, I don't know. I wouldn't be where I am without her leadership. And with Andrew, he has just pivoted so many times over the past few years. It's been a fun 2.5 years to say the least. Anyway, thank you to all you businesses out here who've supported Lakewood and Lakewood and City Lights, and for, this is a shameless plug, can I do this?
Sure.
November 19th, right here in the Iron Light, we are inviting 200 of you special people to be here for Lakewood and City Lights. Thank you for all your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, Joanne, and congratulations, Joanne. All right. A big thank you to all of our arts leaders, and please consider encouraging your friends and neighbors to be a part of the many organizations that we've featured this evening, including the Chamber itself. If you're enjoying your wine this evening, you'll be pleased to know that Willamette Valley Vineyards Tasting Room and Restaurant off State Street has just recently opened. The Chamber will celebrate them soon with a ribbon cutting, but we owe special thanks to them this evening for the gift of wine that all of you have been enjoying. So we're going to have an interactive sponsor event right now. Don't worry, I think you've got it. If you have a glass in your hand, or if you could imagine you have a glass in your hand, let's imagine raising a glass to Willamette Valley Vineyards and thank them very much for being our wine sponsor for the evening. And huge congrats. Is Hunter Garcia in the room tonight? Look at that man back there, please. All eyes back there. Hunter Garcia. He's their representative. If you'd like to know more about their wine, or heaven forbid, I understand he's handing out some form of swag. I don't know. Maybe a 2-for-1. I don't know. But you might want to hit him up afterwards. Once again, thank you very much, Willamette Valley Vineyards. Our Community Leader of the Year. As you've already seen this evening, Lake Oswego is blessed with a community of volunteers and people who lead without taking credit or seeking recognition for what they do. That is true of our Chamber Board members and the people that are honored here this evening. Our next presenter served an extra long term as Chamber President. During the pandemic, no less, she led us through all of the pivots the Chamber made and continues to make to serve our members and the greater Lake Oswego business community. Not only that, as my immediate predecessor as President of the Chamber, she was a sterling example of what it really means to go over and above and serve your community. So, please help me welcome Julia Fowler to the
Thank you, Christopher. And thank you, whoever put me after Andrew. I wanted to start by saying, of all of the Lake Oswego Chamber Awards programs I've been to, attended over the years, this one by far is the most recent. So thank you to Liz and the team of the Chamber who are putting this together for all of us to be together in person tonight. I am getting the privilege of recognizing our friend, Lynn Brokaw, as this year's community leader. Lynn is such a positive person and a positive influence on this community that he took a test this morning to prove it, and it was positive. So Lynn will not be joining us tonight. So just for Andrew, I plan on taking my time and Lynn's time at the podium. Most of us know Lynn by his profession. He's been a realtor for more than 40 years, the last almost 25 of that with Hass & Company. And if you're a regular at Friday morning networking, you'll recognize that we go do this thing where we go around the room and everybody in attendance gets an opportunity to say their name, say the name of their business, and say their tagline. Lynn is a regular, and you'll recognize Lynn as Lynn Brokaw, Hass & Company, and he has a tagline, and I'll have you all say it with me. He is the tallest realtor in town. Now, what you might not know is that previously, Lynn was a college professor. Realty was really his second job. But as a college professor, he was in Idaho and he was in Colorado. And he and Judy moved to Lake Oswego to Oregon in 1975 with their boys. And Lynn went to work at Portland Community College as a psychology teacher. And I don't know, but I can imagine that he was probably an expert in his field, because I know for me, and I can imagine for many of you, I absolutely now believe Lynn is the tallest realtor in town. Lynn has been a chamber member for many years. He's been a chamber ambassador. He can be seen at most every chamber event volunteering. He outworks everyone. He was part of the Leadership Lake Oswego class that brought the chamber golf tournament into play at the country club. He has also been involved in the wine walk, to networking, to everything in between. Lynn can be seen as the positive person with a smile on their face at all of the local events. I remember a few years ago, I think it was 2017, the Leadership Lake Oswego class was manning the beer and wine tent at the festival. And it was one of those years where it was amazingly hot. 100 degrees Saturday and Sunday. And attendance was low for the event. It was even lower for the beer and wine tent. And by the time we got to the end of the day on Sunday, when it was time to pack up, we had kegs and kegs that were untapped, boxes and boxes of wine. And at the end of the event, it was Sean Minot, myself, and Brad Stevens. And Brad was not even in that year's leadership class. He was the tri-chair for that class. And it was the three of us, really hot. We had to pack this whole thing up. And out of nowhere, here comes Lynn. Lynn showed up, said he was there to help us break down. And for the next hour and a half, while we all were completely sweating, Lynn was outworking us all. That's the kind of guy he was. He always seems to show up at the right moment, and he still does. So when we were done, we asked Lynn if we could give him a ride back to his car. He said no, that he rode his bike there. And I said, well, we'll pack your bike up and yourself up in the back of Brad's pickup with all these kegs that we're taking back to the brewery, and we'll give you a lift. And he says, oh, no. He says he wanted to bike home, and as you know, everything is uphill from George Rogers Park, wherever you live in this town. And so we all said our goodbyes and departed. Sean and I spilled ourselves into our cars, went to the chamber office to unload, pull up, and what do you know, Lynn is sitting there on the stoop, ready for part two. And Lynn, you can't say enough about the hundreds of examples of like this, that he is always available to help us in the community. Lynn, he is an avid cyclist. He's been on 2 Cycle Oregons and countless 100-mile-a-day century rides. He also was featured on the cover of the Parks and Rec magazine with his grandchildren, our next generation of bikers. But Lynn's participation in volunteer work isn't just for chamber events. Lynn's first initial participation in major volunteer work was with CASA, the Advocates for Children. They were blessed with Lynn for 5 years. And then Lynn moved on to Lake Oswego Meals on Wheels. First as a driver, then he joined the board, and then he became the lead of the Wheels on Meals Restaurant Month that we all partake in. Lynn and Judy, they know Lake Oswego restaurants very well, partially because they like eating out with friends and family, but also because Lynn has connected with most every single one of them. So if you need a restaurant recommendation, Lynn is also your guy. You can imagine the last couple years, especially during COVID, what a big project Meals on Wheels has been, and everybody from looking in the charity space for donations have had to deal with. So it's fitting that this year we present to Lynn as a community advocate, as a volunteer, as a mentor to all of us, on behalf of the Chamber and the city, we present Lake Oswego Community Leader of the Year. Get emotional on Lynn's behalf, if we'll tell him that would be great. So Lynn did send some remarks. And am I playing the part of Lynn also in this, Christopher? Oh, thank you. So Lynn does feel really bad that he wasn't able to be here tonight and celebrate the recipients of all the other awards also. He wants to thank the Chamber and the city and all those that volunteer. He says, I know there are a lot of individuals out there deserving of this honor. I wish I could be there to celebrate all those individuals who volunteer for nonprofit organizations and donate to these causes. It would be great to see many of you volunteer to these needy organizations. It really makes you feel much better about yourself when you see how appreciative the people are that you're helping. Each day, I, Lynn, deliver meals to people who are so excited to see someone and also receive that meal. One of our drivers told me, quote, the day I deliver is the best day of the week. It makes me feel so good to see how happy people are to see me. Lynn ends by saying, the world is in a lot of need right now. Go out and help someone. Please celebrate all people who help others and all of the people receiving these awards tonight. And that's on behalf of Lynn Brokaw. So you'll give him this award sometime.
Thank you, Julia, and congratulations to Lynn, of course. As an aside, he doesn't just do that in Lake Oswego. My wife and I were in downtown Portland for a Parkinson's fundraiser, and who should show up on their bicycle? Lynn? Yeah. So big props to Lynn in all of those ways. I would like to ask you now, we need to say our final presentation of the evening, our final presenter of the evening is no stranger to all things Lake Oswego. Bill Korash is a two-time past president of the Chamber, retired superintendent of the school district, and the current teacher for our Leadership Lake Oswego program. He is a strong practitioner and advocate of public service, and he's also a past recipient of the Bob Bigelow Lifetime Achievement Award with his wife, Ricky. Here to introduce and present this year's recipient, please help me welcome Dr. Bill Korash.
Thank you, Christopher. The Bigelow Award is close to my heart. Bob was a treasure to the Lake Oswego community. And it was his example, his leadership example, that inspired the Lifetime Achievement Award. It was his idea also that we honor people who've given a lifetime of service to this community. And like Bob, he gave generously his time, his gifts, and his passion for our city. This year's Lifetime Achievement Award selection honoree is Mary Puskas. Like Bob, Mary is passionate about our community and has given much back to us. from her many, many contributions. Leadership is about relationships, and Mary is a collaborative leader with a soaring and inspiring spirit that she brings to all of her endeavors. Mary's gifts include her ability, and it's amazing to me in working with her over time, that she can build positive and productive relationships with a wide range of people, and at the same time, she can make people come together and build something special. Now, I've got examples of those times when I've seen her make magic happen. Now, I got 8 examples. So Liz, relax. I'm going to go quickly. I've got 8 examples. And of the 8 examples, 7 of them are volunteer roles. Only 1 is a paid position. Think about that. Mary started in our community bonding with the chamber. She was in the 2nd Leadership Lake Oswego class, and she became a chamber board member, and she was very involved in committees, especially the school district business partnership program that I remember. At Lakewood, she began as a volunteer, and she actually hung the open show in 1989. Have you ever tried to hang an open show? I've seen it. Oh. Okay. Mary initiated the Women's Coalition and was president of that successful organization that provides networking, interesting speakers, and camaraderie until COVID shut it down. She's a city councilor in the past. She was appointed, and then she ran for office and was selected. And Mary was a passionate person about open space, the Lusher Farm, and building partnerships with the chamber and the school district. She's a long-term member of Rotary. She's gone through all the chairs, and she's been Rotary president and continues to serve in the Rotary domain. Now, the one position that Mary held on this list that's paid position, I hired her for. Now, I was working with her in several of these other domains. I had a great job for her. The school district had just been hammered by a tax measure, ballot measure 5, that changed funding from local control to state control. So we were in deep trouble having the ability to ask our community for its support and have to go to state funding to provide our program, which was significantly lower than what we needed. That concerned me a great deal as superintendent, and I knew we had to restructure the district and do many things quite differently. We had a foundation, but at that time, that foundation just was providing some grants to teachers to do projects in their classroom. I told Mary, I really need Mary to think about this job, and I need you to come and raise the bar and just make the foundation something that nobody has ever seen before in a school district. But I can't pay you for that work. So what I'm going to bundle with the job is creating a community school and running all kinds of programs and running an after-school and before-school care program. Killer job, right? Now, what did the foundation do with Mary's leadership? She moved the foundation from small grants to a $2.2 million a year enterprise that we really needed because we were hurting through those years for funding. She's also been very, very involved with the Job Seekers program, which tries to help people who are at the end of, more toward the end of their career and have lost their jobs and are still trying to integrate into the workplace. She's been a mentor in that program, and she's also been a leader in that program. And just last month, she made a major presentation to that program along with Jim Thomas, who's sitting with her right over there right now. And she's exiting that program and continuing her work right now with being the president of the Oswego Heritage Council. That's a lot. That measures up to me in terms of what Bob Bigelow was looking for, to honor people who have made a significant difference in our community over a long period of time. Mary Puskas, please come up.
Well, I first want to thank Dr. Bill Corridge, who gave me the world's best job. And I'm very humbled by this honor, because looking around in this room, there's so many fabulous people. Excuse me. I'm not going to do that. So, Christopher and Liz, I also want you to know that I first became involved in the community when Bill said it, with the Leadership Lake Oswego program. And that program is of course sponsored by the Chamber. And it introduced me to the many, many organizations in this community that make Lake Oswego the outstanding place that it is. Several years ago, I believe it was Home and Garden voted Lake Oswego one of the 10 best places to live in the U.S. to live and raise a family. The honor was based on its schools, its parks, its civic infrastructure, and the generosity of its citizens. The organizations that I had the great fortune to be a part of, so many I've been able to be a part of, have so many outstanding people donating their time, treasure, and talent. And that is what really sets Lake Oswego apart and makes it such an outstanding place. The civic infrastructure is rich and broad in what it contributes to the community. The relationships I have had with so many fellow volunteers has enriched my life enormously. I can truly say that almost all of my friends and family have worked to make our town the beautiful place that it is. I am so proud to know that many of you continue to work hard on behalf of our hometown. I appreciate all that my family has done to help and support me. Jim, who I met in the mentoring program, was outstanding in that program and did it for over 10 years and certainly taught me how to be a mentor. Jonathan, my son, who's unable to be here tonight because he was quickly called out of town, has made me very proud because he has won the Legion of Merit Military Award, which is one of the highest awards you can win. Rachel, our city councilor, is one of the best daughter-in-laws. I have another one about to deliver a baby. That is Casey and Taylor Schmitz. Casey and Taylor are raising their family here and are involved with the schools and soon to be parents of their third child. My sister Ann, you couldn't find a better sister, the best. And David, I like to think of David as our big teddy bear in the family. Along with good friends that I cherish and feel blessed to have as part of my life, particularly John Tershi and Gwen Tershi Hill, or Gwen Hill Tershi. See Susan's here there too, who's fabulous. And, they just were so supportive when I was doing the foundation. John, of course, having been the principal of both high schools, and Gwen, of course, having been principal of several of our elementary schools. Susan was the president of our foundation. So I really like the phrase that I have always thought of: volunteering is the rent we pay for being here. So volunteer, feel the joy. It will add a lot to your life. Thank you very much.
well. Is there a theme here this evening? Can anybody pick up on that theme? Certainly has something to do with connection. Certainly has something to do with giving back. It is the connections we share with one another. It is the time and the attention we pay to one another that makes a difference and makes a community worth living in. Because if we didn't have that connection with one another, what would we be? We're just a group of people sitting in this room. Just a group of people. What turns a group of people into a community is that connection with one another. And we were here tonight to honor people who have put that connection front, foremost, senior in their life and in their minds and in their actions. And as a result, we're all sort of sitting here basking in the glow of this community that we all feel so great being a part of. But this community doesn't just happen, does it? It is these people. And not only is it the people we honor tonight, I would ask you to now join me in taking a look around this room. Do it. Don't just look at me. Really, turn around. Look around at all the other people in this room. Not just at this evening's recipients, but as well to all of you who are here tonight to help us honor and to witness their contributions. You are all a part of what truly helps us to experience Lake Oswego in a way that is reflective of the most meaningful things that we can bring to a caring and vibrant community. So, a round of applause to tonight's recipients and to all of you. I know that we're getting long in the program and we're so close to dessert, but we do have just a couple of drawings to make to put a final touch on our chamber event. We're going to give everyone here tonight a chance to get in on the action by having a quick drawing. So first up, from Chef's Table, we have a drawing for a $50 gift certificate to Oven and Shaker. So a big round of applause to Chef's Table. Go ahead, stand up now. You're kind of a big deal. Go ahead, stand up. All right, and I'm going to let my better 2/3 make the drawing. This is quite the full
What happens if you pick me?
thing here.
Can you win? Can I give it back?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Catherine Burge. There we go. Fantastic. Second, also from Chef's Table, so another round of applause to our local partner, Chef's Table. We have a $50 gift certificate to Loch St. Jack. And whether you like tartare or not, it's absolutely delicious. All right, the winner of that gift certificate is Hillary Hess. Are you here tonight? Where are you? Yes. Congratulations, Hillary, and thank you again to Chef's Table. Our next drawing item is going to come from the Willamette Valley Vineyards, the people who served you all that fine wine this evening. If you enjoyed the wine tonight, you will be happy to receive a $100 gift certificate, and that is going to random person number 3, Matt Katzer. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, we'll send you to that gentleman over there. And we'll say, all right, our biggest drawing item this evening comes from central office on the 2nd and 3rd floors of the Beacon building. We're drawing a 6-month Flex Plus membership. What is that, you ask? Oh my goodness. Thank you for asking. It's an unlimited 9 to 4 weekday access to all central locations. You can work at their tables, phone booths, common areas, super fast Wi-Fi, premium business amenities, free coffee and tea, and access to all of their kitchens. Along with other discounts and bonuses, the total value comes to $1,170 for your office away from your office. Who wins? Oh my goodness, the suspense is killing me.
And it is transferable.
And it is transferable, in case you already have an office. Oh my goodness, Barbara Dawson. Double winners. All right. All right. As we close this evening's events, I want to remind the recipients to come to the photo booth over there with your presenter for photographs. A final thank you to our Lakeridge High School Jazz Ensemble. Let's put it together, guys.
to the Land of Marlene Vineyards for tonight's wines. And then a big round of applause for the people you really shouldn't have noticed. David Efaw Productions, the video guys that are just supposed to be hanging out. Like you can't even, he's standing right in front of me, but you can't see him. He just blends in. He's wearing all black. He's doing great. All right, a big thank you to Glow Gifts for our flowers. To our co-sponsor, Beacon Lake Oswego. And once again, to our title sponsor, Columbia Bank. Now, while you're feeling generous and in the mood, of course, a final giant thank you to all of you for being here tonight. Dessert by Elephants is now served. We have the space until 8:30 p.m., so I want to encourage all of you to congratulate our recipients when you see them tonight and around town. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. It was a pleasure to serve you tonight. Take care.